Welcome to another awesome interview today. Welcome to the show. In this show, we interview top real estate agents that are influencers in their market. They're influencers in real estate, people that are growing their business and their brand and their rev share here at EXP. We are so honored today. We have Zac Kennedy out of the Birmingham area. I think he's going to blow everyone's mind today on this show. And we're gonna dig deep, and we're gonna ask a lot of questions and understand exactly what his business is and what it's like. So, welcome to the show, Zac.
Hey, I'm glad to be here, Alex. Thank you so much. It's been such a blessing to watch you, and the quality of your channel has exploded lately. So it's an honor to be with you. Love what you're doing in the Auburn area with our organization here. And so I'm really blessed to sit down with you.
Yep. No, we're super happy to have you, man. And I think the big thing just on that small point is just exposure. All these agents that are watching, you cannot win in real estate being a secret agent, right? So
Right.
exposure is the key. So we're going to dig right in. Most people don't know Zac, but Zac was very much behind the scenes. And actually, if you look at the background of this show, he's the gentleman that actually helped develop the logo and the design. And he was a magician behind the scenes. So Zac, let's go ahead and dig right in. We know you're in Birmingham.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit today. Where is your business? What does it look like today?
So I've been selling real estate since the end of 2020. I've been full-time just this year, and I'm 85% capped. So
Wow.
should get that knocked out for the first time here in a few months. So I'm really excited about that. I
Sweet.
work primarily in the Birmingham area with buyers and sellers. And I'm from Jasper, which is a smaller town about 35 minutes northwest of Birmingham.
Okay.
And so as I joined the MLS there at my hometown last year. And so my business is picking up there as well. So that's really exciting. So I've been selling full time since January of this year, but I've been involved in the real estate industry since 2016 and just
Okay.
been selling since 2020.
Well, that's pretty unique. So, digging in real quick, you said you're 85% capped.
Yeah.
And just to let the audience know, do you mind explaining to them a little bit? If they're not a part of the EXP, they may hear this and be like, what is he talking about? So, can you explain what 85% of capped means, and when was your anniversary, or when is it?
Yes, and some companies don't even have a cap. So with our company, when you pay out of your split, which is your split is the portion that you keep and the portion that you pay to the company. And lots of companies are different. And in fact, some companies, different agents have different splits. But at our company at EXP, it doesn't matter if you're brand new, like I was at the end of 2020, or if you're selling 50 million a year as a single agent, your split to the company is 80-20. And when that 20% that you pay to the company every single deal adds up to $16,000, then you have capped. You've reached 100%. And then from then on out, you don't have to pay the company the 20%. That's yours to keep.
Awesome. Awesome. That's a good explanation. And did you say your anniversary is January, or when is it?
Mine is September.
Okay, cool. So you're almost there, and then you get to enjoy it through September or to September, and then
Yep.
we start over.
That's right.
So you said you have been a part of the real estate industry since
Mhm.
2016, and we can definitely go right into 2016. But let's talk a little bit. What did you do before 2016?
Yeah, sure. So, growing up, my dad was actually the executive editor at my hometown newspaper in Jasper, the Daily Mountain Eagle. So, I tell the story to folks that I grew up eating Cheez-Its and drinking Dr. Pepper out of vending machines. I was at, the mayor's office, and then I'd be down at the courthouse with my dad, just kind of tagging along with him being a writer. And so naturally, my first job out of my first 2 years of college was as a general reporter at my hometown newspaper. So my dad always had the gift of writing, and I really think it was very genetic because I just kind of had that gift growing up. It was one of the few things that I was good at. Definitely wasn't going to be a mathematician. I struggled with that stuff, but words and communication always came naturally to me. And I think that was because of his influence. So I did a 6-month internship at my hometown newspaper, just writing everything from grandma's coin collection to the mayor's race to high school football, you name it. And I graduated from the University of South Alabama in Mobile. And while I was at South and after graduating, I worked in athletic media relations. So
Okay.
for the South Alabama Jaguars athletic program, I was basically the reporter, but I liaised with media. I scheduled interviews. When we were at regional tournaments or conference playoff football, we were setting up interviews with media, getting our people placements in media, and covering games and everything in between. I've seen more college softball than 90% of people on planet Earth. But it was such a cool experience. It kind of morphed from me just covering and reporting on, women's cross country, men's cross country, women's soccer, softball, football, basketball, you name it, baseball. It turned from me kind of reporting on that for our athletics webpage. If you're watching this in the state of Alabama, then rolltide.com or maybe wareagle.com. Like that was essentially what I was writing for, and sending all those releases, all that information to media outlets across the country to try to get our student athletes nominated for awards and placed in publications. And what I really clung to was the marketing of these the games. I mean, like getting people to the games, selling tickets, in-game promotions, design for flyers and media guides and programs for games. And also, this was in about 2013, 2014 when I got hired full time. I had noticed how these college athletics programs were really marketing the athlete's experience at schools. And so I really went hard in to try to revolutionize our social media and try to get us ahead to kind of promote Mobile, Alabama and South Alabama as a destination college for athletes to go to. And so that kind of morphed into me being more or less the creative director for our athletics marketing program. That was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. I learned a lot. I got to meet a lot of movers and shakers in the athletics industry. But I knew that I wasn't making as much as I thought that I was worth. I mean, when you work in a college athletics program, you work 24/7, you work all the time. And so there was an opportunity that came up for me to move into the real estate industry where I knew I could take these skills and use those skills to get hired or to help people sell real estate. And then they pay me. And I knew that that would fit within the type of lifestyle that I was used to, where I was working from a laptop, where I was working around the clock. And that's where Jenny Williams came in. She is one of the premier EXP agents really in the country as far as bringing agents into the company, but also she has such a great reputation with agents all across the country as someone that can train an agent, that can teach an agent and mentor an agent to success. And I was very happy to accept a job working for her with the company Get a Real Estate Life. And we had clients all across the country, mainly in the Birmingham area. And I'm really happy to say that, a lot of those clients that we had are now our awesome partners at Team Accelerate.
Dude, that's awesome. So if I had to put a pin on you, I would say that you are what your passion is storytelling.
Absolutely. You could not have selected a better word.
You're a storyteller.
That's right.
That's awesome, man. I think that's something that's that most honestly, it's what a lot of agents struggle with.
Yeah.
So, and I'm a creative too, if you can't tell. But storytelling is a passion, and being able to, I think, walk people through an experience or get them to feel that same experience as, say, the person that bought the home when they first bought it. that gut feeling of knowing that they just love the home. You know, if I want to make it a real estate reference here,
Yeah.
I think that's super cool how you've really and it's not just storytelling, but your ability to dig deep and
Yeah.
go real deep before you go wide with your marketing is
Hmm.
what is kind of cool. So I think naturally you're able to funnel people. So like, cause you're going, okay, so you know, South Alabama, we've got athletics, we've got personalities, we've got a university in a town, and you're saying, how do I take such a bland mess of words and create a story that makes people want to come here?
That's
Not
right.
just an athlete, but someone to visit. And
Yep.
so I think that's pretty cool. So you're finding ways to basically dovetail stories and experiences into each other. So that's awesome, man. That's a neat experience. Sorry to go deep on that, but I would say you are a storyteller to the T.
Absolutely.
That's awesome. So I think it's awesome that everybody has kind of heard a little bit about where you came from and kind of how that's brought you into the real estate industry. I think everyone's story is so unique to them, that's what makes realtor special, in my opinion,
Yeah.
is that you find that special in you, like Coach Michael Burt says, and your special is storytelling. So that's pretty cool. Um, so fast forward, you're now working with Jenny Williams at Get a Real Estate Life, and Jenny has this bright idea to go back into real estate.
Yes. So
tell,
at
tell the
at the
audience. Well, number one, uh, if you guys are now watching this for all of our awesome people that are watching this interview, our family here, the Team Accelerate is our organization under EXP. I'll let Zac explain that, because you probably know the origins and the roots of how this organization came about, like saying, oh, there's a lot of people, we need to assimilate this thing as one group.
Yeah, so it's so amazing, and when we talk a lot about downlines, and you hear a lot about downlines at EXP Realty, but
Business partnership. Business
the real,
partnership.
yeah, the juicy part and the really interesting part is actually the uplines. So we are so closely connected
Yeah.
to some of the originals, some of the OGs in the early 2000 aughts, where this whole idea was coming to fruition. And we are just right there under those people. And it's so much fun to know how early we still are in this. So to talk about the origins of Team Accelerate, not just EXP, because it wouldn't have mattered what company it was. It's our organization that is really phenomenal. And it didn't start very long ago. In 2018, we were, Jenny and I at Guild Real Estate Life, we were actually the in-house marketing company for a local mortgage lender. And we also had the client business with real estate agents, single agents, and teams. And so we were bright. I mean, we knew the market. We weren't selling, but we knew the market. And we had some real hitters for clients, including Gusty, who introduced you to the company,
Mm-hmm.
and who's in our organization. It's so awesome that we're all so close. But Jenny just finally decided, we had gotten really good at marketing agents. If they're a single agent or if they were a team, we essentially handled their client nurture programs, which is where you keep up with those past clients that you've worked with. And it's the hardest thing to do. I was watching your interview with, maybe it was Nick, but you were talking about events and how hosting events is such a big part of your business. Well, that's a really hard thing to pull off by yourself. And so things like events, things like property promotion, direct mail, we handled all that for our clients. So we were very tuned into the market. And kind of as the model kept coming up, Jenny just decided, you know what? I think that it's time again for me to get back into sales, for me to get my feet wet again. She was a one-on-one coach for 11 years at that point. Of course, she sold many houses and worked for many companies before, including having her own brokerage. But she was ready to get back in it, ready to get back in the trenches with our agents. And so she decided to go with EXP Realty. And that was kind of the founding of Team Accelerate, of this organization of well over 300 that we have now. And it's been so phenomenal to see the success stories that we've had, to be very intimate and knowledgeable about the the business of other individuals. It's I know the businesses, the strengths, the passions of over 300 people in our organization, because we all talk and communicate um, every day. I mean, there's between 10 and 15 posts in our private Facebook group with referrals going out and asking for recommendations on certain vendors and business partners and talking about market trends. So it's really amazing to see what it's turned into in such a short amount of time. And we're still in the early adopter phase.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. We're trying to still make sure we push through with, as more people continue to experience EXP and come on and really learn more about it, I think you guys have built some really nice scalable systems inside of Team Accelerate, like the Monday Mastermind, the once a month Team Leader Mastermind, how Jenny runs her training when that's running. I think that's pretty important. And I saw Rob Drum has started doing an investor group, which is phenomenal. I think that's something. The cool part is like once you tie into this organization, it's not like, hey, you that sells residential resale, you that sells residential resale, and you all do the same thing. Everyone's so different, but we are all able to get in the same room or Zoom room, whatever you want to call it. And really, since it just made sense. When I came over during COVID, it just made sense. I was like, we're not going to be in the office. I'm going to be in a virtual office. I'm a collaborator. I used to teach group fitness, for God's sake. So, I mean, I've got to be in a room with people. Like, it's just, that's just how I operate. I'm kind of the team player.
Yeah. And dude, your team is on fire right now.
Yeah, they're killing it. No, we've been super blessed. Our team has really grown with the company, but a lot of that comes from, when I came on, I needed help. I needed so much help. And when you ask, everyone's just like, here, let me tell you.
Yeah.
And so like how to run a team, how to do commission splits, how to get your market, what should you do for marketing, or is this a good decision or is this a bad decision? It's always like, and it's not just like trying to get idea after idea after idea, but it's like, do you have it's almost like having that confidant family member that you can always turn to and ask a question. And it's always fun because there's typically someone that you're already intimately know within the group. And you get to have that conversation about what they're doing well. And is that a good decision? Like I had Nick audit my TikTok.
Yeah. He's the guy to do it. Wow.
Yeah, I know. He straightened me up and he definitely made me feel 35.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it. So, you guys started 2018 and you got your license. You tell me about your transition and why did you go from behind the scenes to now in front of the scenes? What made you develop into being the agent you are today?
Sure. So, when Jenny went back into sales in 2019, I mean, she encouraged me to get my license for many of the income streams that are available to us, but mostly to sell real estate, because she knew that she hired me because I was a storyteller, but she knew that the more and more I learned about how this industry works, not just how a contract's written, who to call for a septic inspection, how to operate a business. She knew that the more I learned about that, the more effective my storytelling would be. And I've eaten so much crow with Jenny Williams. She's done this, and I told her she was crazy. And she went and chased this squirrel, and I just tried to reel her back in, but then she made some grand discovery. But the best thing that she did for me was to encourage me to get licensed and get a taste of it. Just see what it's like to actually sell real estate, because we were doing a phenomenal job of helping people with their marketing. But now that I'm doing it myself, I'm telling you, man, we've got a lot of really good stuff in store. We've got a lot of good content that's coming, and I know you're going to be a part of that. And we're in a market right now where people need to know how to tell stories to the people most likely to either buy or sell with them or refer them, because I know you guys see it down in your market. Things are tightening up. And so storytelling is a really hot topic right now, because you're going to want to make sure that if there's somebody in your phone, that if they or somebody they know needs to sell real estate, that they pick you, because the heavy hitters are going to be gobbling up a lot of market share right now.
Oh yeah.
So now's the time, and you're on the call with two people that know what they're doing as far as social media goes. So when we talk about storytelling, we are dead serious at this very important time to go all in on how you tell stories about your strengths as a real estate agent, how you can help people, because it might get a little weird out here in the next few months.
Yeah, I mean, I think the storytelling part is just absolutely crucial. And for new agents, it's hard to tell stories because they are so worried and caught up about. And I'm just talking because recently we've been working with a lot of newer agents, and so a
Yep.
lot of them are like, I don't have the experience. How do I do this? Well, one of the cool things about basically we're all freaking mentors to everyone that comes in the company. It's amazing. I love this part because um, I've gotten really good at helping people identify what they're already really good at,
Yeah.
and how do you take someone that is really strong from another industry, or their strong background or unique story, and how do you adapt that to talking with a client, and how do you basically protect your bottom line? To be completely honest with you, that's what it comes down to is facts tell, storytelling sells, right?
There you
And
go.
we preach that so hard, and it's fun because I get to talk with people and help agents break down their process and break down what they're good at. But I help them also identify those special parts of them that they
Mhm.
throw into the conversation that they need to remember whenever they go into a listing appointment. Those cautionary tales of overlisting, what happens there, or how does that, how does your background, how does it play a similar parallel part? But that's really big. So yes, storytelling is huge in today's world. So I mean, you kind of talked about things getting weird moving forward. What are you thinking? What are you seeing?
Well, I just think people are scared right now.
Sure.
I think consumers are maybe even misunderstanding what could be happening. And so now is the time to tell stories, to talk about the market, to get hard examples,
Mhm.
and probably ease some people's fears. I think that we as agents get a little caught up in our own bubble, and we
Mhm.
talk about this with people in our organization about their marketing as a whole. Just hey, take a step back, maybe put it down for a weekend, or just simply call your past clients and ask them, hey, I know you're watching the news right now. What do you think's going on? What can I answer some questions about, and then provide some content that eases those fears. I encourage that with people in our organization, to talk to your friends and family and ask them questions about what are their perceptions of the real estate industry right now, because we get pretty snowed in talking to ourselves all the time.
Yeah, a little humility goes a long way.
That's right.
Yeah, when you kind of drop the vanity a little bit and ask somebody for their real, for how they feel.
Yeah. And I just did that with a client that just sent me a referral. They just bought their house last year,
Yeah.
and they're happy in it. Everything's fine. If they could get a price, I think they would sell. Just because they like the house, but they fell in love with it when they bought it, and now they want something different. So I know that happens all the time. So they asked me, can we get to this number? Because if we can get to this number, we'll probably sell. And I just told them, I don't think that's, I don't think you're going to get there. I think that that's a little overshooting it. You might come under and get a little bit more, but then you have to move. And, it's okay to tell people the truth and
Yeah.
really to ask them how they're feeling about the market. So that was somebody that I helped just last year that's already thinking, if I could get the number with appreciation,
Wow.
maybe I would sell right now. And I wouldn't
Yeah.
have known that had I not asked the question. And like you said, was humble and just said, what do you need to know right now? What are your perceptions of what's going on in real estate?
Absolutely.
Um,
Absolutely.
so that I can ease those fears or answer those questions. Otherwise, I'd be sticking to my social media plan and could be just missing.
Oh man, we could have a whole nother show about how much I love your social media stuff. Because your ability to story tell with carousel photos is insanely fun to watch. I think that creative, and always how clean your marketing is. I know you're probably sick of hearing it from me, but I always talk about how clean your marketing looks. But so let's transition a little bit. So I think that's a lot of good content for the agents watching, as far as kind of what's going on, what we see as a current event, and some opportunities for them to find some success in their business, especially with past clients.
Mhm.
Let's talk a little bit about what excites you about EXP. What do you feel like was, what did you come for, and what are you staying for?
Yeah, so I came with Jenny because I just put my full faith in her, making the decision that she made to go back into real estate, and I was really excited to test it out because we'd made other people so much money and gotten really good at
Yeah.
what we did. And when she decided to go back into sales, I was like, "Let's go, dude!" I mean, we had all the marketing plans set up, ready to go. Like I was really jacked about it. And I
Yeah.
was really excited to tell her story. So Jenny's, I mean, she's really, she grew up with a dad who's a broker, who's still a broker. So she has grown up in this industry, but the passion that she still has for it is just unbelievable. And as our organization grew, I have watched so many agents, brand new, been in the business for years, and those that were looking to get out some way, had put their bid in and was ready to retire or just live a life before retirement age, that they deserve to live because they'd worked so hard. So
Hmm.
the stories, and I'm going to keep saying that. I'm sorry, but this is going to turn. There's your title, something about storytelling. But it's been so awesome to see our market share grow, to see um, us in every major market center in the state of Alabama in such a short period of time. I just brought on a team of 8, which was
Wow.
stressful but so rewarding.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
these guys, they don't even know it yet. They don't even know what's really about to happen for their business and how many buyers and sellers they're going to impact because of the step up in the systems and the quality and the value that we have in our organization. And look, here's the thing, man. EXP 80/20 split, 16,000 cap. You get a CRM, you get, a website, you get so much stuff, but it's really the people in our organization that keeps me here, that keeps me from entertaining, getting, some kind of splash hire at some other company where I could really put my marketing to work for a huge organization. I would rather just teach people one-on-one because then I get to connect, even people that are not in my downline and I will never make a dime from. The more real estate they sell, the more money our company makes, the more revenue we get, the more
Yep.
profit. Like that's really what it's all about. Our organization is just full of people that do real estate in so many different ways that, I mean, it is a buffet when you come here and you want to figure out, how do I want to run my business? What are my strengths? What are my backgrounds? What can my story be to make me different from the next agent? There is something to get from every single person in our organization.
Yeah, that's good stuff right there. I think Nick said it too. It's just kind of like, you can come for the splits, but you'll stay for the collaboration all day. You'll stay for the
Yeah.
people. It's just
Hmm.
how it is. For the agents that are already a part of our organization, or they're already an EXP agent, it doesn't really matter. I'm going to go ahead and surprise you, I guess, with a question. But what do you feel works really well when you're having a conversation with another agent when they ask about EXP?
To just shut up and listen.
Yeah, bingo. Needs analysis.
Yeah. So you're people have EXP breath. People had Advocare breath. I mean, there's pyramids everywhere. Um, but that's just not the way that we've operated since the beginning. Since Jenny just made the decision, look, I'm not cold calling people.
Yeah.
Just not going to do it. I'm going to be really good at selling real estate, and people are going to want to know what we're doing to be really good at selling real estate. And so the first 2 years that she moved to eXp Realty, the first 2 years that she had sold real estate, and over 2 years, she hit Icon both years. And, Icon at EXP agent, as an EXP agent, is you cap, and then you do about 20 to 25 transactions, and you get that $16,000 cap back in stock, in installments. Pretty unbelievable. It's almost as if the company has paid you to be here. But she crushed the first 2 years back due to the experience that we had, the systems, and the persistence and the hard work that we had.
Mm-hmm.
And so people wanted to know how it was done, and we aren't shy about it. Like we don't hide anything.
Yeah.
Even agents that we go on listing appointments against, we don't mind sharing our secrets and sharing what we do, and we'll see who comes out. I mean, either way, we win.
Who's the better storyteller?
I mean, yeah, I've gone on listing appointments against agents in our organization. It's good competition. It makes us all better, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Man, I think you've just thrown some absolute bombs out for everyone watching this. I think it's been thank you so much for coming on and doing this. Just one last question: is there any more advice or anything else you want to offer to our family out there that's watching today?
Sure. So, I mean, as we've kind of covered, I come from a marketing background. I come from a storytelling background. I'm coming out with a course pretty soon, but the real takeaway from it all, and I do think that it's very important for a lot of new agents, a lot of agents that maybe you're struggling to come in with some consistency, find some consistency month to month, 2 to 4 closings a month. Or even if you're an agent that is looking to scale, follow Alex, subscribe to his YouTube channel, and watch what he's teaching, watch the style that he's coming out with. And most importantly, is it Living in Auburn? Is that your other channel?
Yeah. So our marketing side is Living in Auburn.
Yeah, I just love the community posts that you guys do as well. I'll give you my 4. This is just the secret sauce. This is what I try to teach agents, whether, everybody in our organization, when it comes to social media, which is something that I talk about a lot. I would like for you to think about doing only 4 post types, 4 types of posts. If you want to get your social media locked in, right now is a good time to be talking to your database. So anybody that's in your phone, right now is a good time to start having conversations with those people about what the market's doing. And also let that be reflected in your social media. But we deal with a lot of agents that feel overwhelmed with social media, and they don't know what to post, when to post, where to post. So what I always try to let people take away is just post 4 types of posts. Post about some listings. Like, if there's an agent, in your office, ask them if you can promote their listing, and do some photos and videos about that listing, and try to drive some traffic to your website where people can sign up to see more photos or get more information about the property. So start to pimp some listings out. That's a really good way to get some quick business. Number 2 is community, just like your Living in Auburn YouTube channel, which is fantastic. Post things about your community, really get involved in your community, and showcase that on your social media. Email it to your database so that you can show that you're really tuned in. Number 3 is branding. That's where the storytelling comes in, to figure out who you are, what your experiences are, so that you can figure out what angle you want to take with your branding. If you need somebody, call Alex, because this guy knows how to talk to you one-on-one about what your strengths are and how you can position yourself to be different in the market. And number 4 is expertise. And that's just where we teach people stuff. It can be as simple as those carousel posts that are, what is earnest money, or who gets paid at the closing table. I could think of 15 blogs from the first page of a residential sales contract. We take for granted, I think, how much we know about this industry. And there's really a lot of opportunity to be teaching right now. So I think in this market, one of my biggest takeaways is to start telling those stories. If you have any questions about how to tell stories, reach out to Alex or myself, and we'd love to help you do that so that you can really hone in on what your strengths are, because now is a good time to start to really differentiate yourself in this market.
Good deal. One quick thing I want to throw in there now that we're kind of getting into it. I'm going to be selfish here. I have Karen coming to talk on Tuesday, and this
Yeah.
is, yep. If you could just tell everyone a little bit about your experience with Karen, a little bit about her and what they're going to experience.
Yeah. So is she just kind of going to be painting with a broad brush the
It's going to
social media
be
platform?
the title is How to Insta Grow Your Business.
Insta grow your business. Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Well, Karen Taradas and her team at Social U, we've been working with them for as long as I've been in the industry, which is 6 years. And they are brilliant, not only at managing your social media to take that off of you, but to show you. I mean, she really gets down and dirty with breaking down the age of people that like the like median age for people on certain platforms, how much time they spend on certain platforms, what kinds of things they look at. And I'm really glad the course that I referenced, Karen is a huge feature in my course because she's that good at breaking down how to simply grow your social media following. And that's really the key. That's why I harp on just post there's 4 post types. Just do that. Don't go crazy. And then just go crazy with stories so that when you're out in the field, that's where the sales happen. And so if you are in the Auburn area Tuesday, you have to go to that. And I'm sure I know links will be posted and all that, but go check out Karen and her team at Social U. They also have a mastermind group that's just $10 a month that you can join and
Awesome.
keep getting fed all of that value. And that is such a cheap investment, $10 a month to get actionable content that you can start to put out in social media, start to get yourself out there, and guaranteed your engagement with the people most likely to either hire you or refer you will increase. So yeah, Instagrow your business. I mean, they are Instagram pros as well. So highly
Cool.
recommend that.
Man, I'm pumped. And for anyone watching, you also get free lunch as well.
Boom.
Man, thank you so much for everything today, Zach. This has just been awesome. You brought an element that no one else has brought to the table with your storytelling abilities and your knowledge about marketing. I really appreciate you coming on. And if anybody is looking to buy, sell, invest in the Birmingham area or Jasper area, I want you to reach out to Zach. We'll go ahead. We'll post his contact information in the details. So if you want to connect with him on all social media platforms, I'm pretty sure it's just at Zac Kennedy. Is that correct?
The at Zac Kennedy EXP.
Zac Kennedy EXP. Awesome. We'll follow him. He's got tons of great content, especially 4 types. So thanks for coming on today. And we will see all my awesome people watching today on the next one.